Donald Trump's lawyers have been busy. They have filed motions in various jurisdictions either to delay or dismiss Donald Trump's various legal troubles. Welcome to Law and Society. Today we're going to discuss the various motions made in the various courtrooms. And as I say, a delay by any other name is still a delay. So if you're new to my channel, please like and subscribe. And let's do a brief overview of Donald Trump's antics. It's worth reminding that Donald Trump has utilized the same methods before in delaying, in moving to dismiss, in requesting a special master, in claiming executive privilege, in claiming governmental immunity, that a lot of his lackeys used those to block January 6th committee's subpoenas and requests to come and speak with the committee. And we are seeing them come up again now. And you will remember, if you've been with me for quite some time, that this is not anything new that I've talked about. I have said many times, and I'll say it many times, that Donald Trump only has that one defense. It's delay. So he has asked Eileen Cannon, his favorite judge and all of the judges that are taking care of his cases, to delay his case until after the 2024 election. Well, why does that sound familiar? Because he used the same exact motion during a motion to dismiss or motion to delay in Judge Chutkan's court for the DC criminal conspiracy trial. We've seen that before. Now, jumping on to Judge Chutkan's court, where there's going to be hearing about the protective order, another gag order placed by another judge. Donald Trump currently has two protective orders for discovery and two protective orders for specifically what they cannot say about cases. And he will likely get more. And on the 16th of October, Judge Chutkan will be hearing that. But in the meantime, Donald's lawyers have filed a motion for dismissal on the basis of governmental immunity. And I want to read this small part of this that sticks out to me, and I'm not going to go over the 50-page motion to dismiss on the grounds of governmental immunity. But the crux of his argument is that organizing a contingent state of electors and meeting with state officials about federal elections are all at the heart of the president's official duties. Well, I'll tell you, and many, many, many others will tell you, that interfering in elections, drawing up electors that are not authorized and certified by the states, is not part of any job description that is part of Article 2, because it doesn't execute any law. It goes into the election process and it creates a conspiracy and an alternate state of electors that falls nowhere within the purview of the president's duties. But as I've said to you before, he will use these motions to dismiss based on immunity and motions to delay because of inconvenience in one form or another every single time he can. And he can do it as many times as there are cases against him, because no judge is going to sanction him for bringing up a frivolous argument that is clearly frivolous to us, but has not been brought in front of that court for that case. It's important to remember that. It's clear to us that Donald Trump is making these frivolous arguments over and over again. But he has not made these frivolous arguments in front of the same judge in the same case before. So in procedural law, the first time somebody brings the case, you dismiss without prejudice, meaning that, okay, the argument fails on the merits and we're dismissing it. If the person who brought the first motion brings that same exact motion back to that same court for the same case, only then does that give the presiding judge the opportunity to sanction on the basis of frivolous action that has been already brought and ruled on, and then rule with prejudice, meaning that if you bring this up again, there'll be more trouble. So that's why Donald Trump is getting away with the same arguments that we see he's making over and over again, but he's making them in different courts in different cases. But his argument of governmental immunity largely remains the same, saying that his conspiratorial acts that under U.S. law would be a crime and nowhere in the ambit of presidential duties was actually at the heart of presidential duties. He's arguing that what he did wasn't wrong. He had the ability to do that. So he's not denying what he did. I don't know how that plays in his favor, but that's what he's arguing. He's asked the New York hush money case to be dismissed. He has asked the D.C. criminal conspiracy to be dismissed. He's asked the Mar-a-Lago case to be delayed. And all of these reasonings we have heard before. So he's at some point going to trip up, because at some point one judge is going to say, hey, you've made this argument in my court before. I'm ruling with prejudice. It could happen, but that's not going to stop Donald Trump. He's going to bring it up. He's going to maybe pay the fine. It's very likely that Donald Trump will violate any protective order that has been set against him. He hasn't so far, and pay the fines. He will push the boundaries wherever he can. And the big question that many people have, and I ask myself this, that why aren't the judges acting? Well, the judges have to act per the case in front of them. Their jurisdiction doesn't go to Twitter and to the public domain to voluntarily go out and seek what Donald Trump is saying. It has to be brought up in court. And, I believe that Jack Smith and other DAs are doing their best to present the court with arguments as clear-cut and as ironclad as they can be. So I expect Judge Chutkan to issue the protective order and deny Donald's motion to dismiss. I expect Eileen Cannon to, it's very difficult to predict what Eileen Cannon will do, but I believe that Eileen Cannon may not go along with Donald Trump's delay because she may not think it is time to make that call yet. And I don't see the New York case or the Georgia case being dismissed, although Donald Trump hasn't yet made the motion to dismiss in the Georgia case, because we are now currently concerned about Kenneth Chesebro and Sidney Powell going to trial on the 23rd of this month, and we're going to see what happens with that, of whether they accept a plea deal or whether they go to trial and the whole world gets to see all of the information. Because the trial will crack open all of the facts of what Donald Trump did in Georgia and everything that we have seen in this speaking indictment that Fani Willis filed against Donald Trump and his 18 co-defendants. So that's where we are, that Donald Trump has moved in every jurisdiction, several jurisdictions, not all of them, to dismiss or delay, because those are his only defenses left. And we are coming to a time when the courts are going to rule on Donald's motions. They're largely going to be against Donald. He's going to try to talk about it and maybe even violate one of the court orders, protective orders, and he's going to be fined or maybe even imprisoned. I don't see him getting imprisoned. I do see him getting fined. So one last thing before we go, there's news that Donald Trump compromised classified information and gave it to an Australian billionaire about a nuclear submarine, and added to the list of other leaks that Donald Trump has done. I have said before, and I'll say it again, Donald Trump took those documents to monetize. He gave back documents willingly, the ones he had already monetized, and he wanted the ones that he hadn't yet monetized back. And he has filed in court before as such, saying that those documents belong to him. They don't. They don't, to such an extent that Eileen Cannon had to order the federal government to have a secured classified information facility, a SCIF facility, built in the Southern District of Florida, where they could assess the information and the classified information and documents that Donald Trump took from the White House and did not return to the government. So that is the extent to how classified those documents were. That a federal judge who is a huge Trumper, we've seen in the special master saga, has ordered a SCIF to be built in the Southern District of Florida so it can be accessible to Donald Trump and all parties. So don't say that Donald Trump is not being treated specially. He is getting the special treatment. He is getting, walking in and out of arraignments and having the mugshot taken and just walking out of there. Of course, he has money. He has the pull to do it, and he's doing it. And he's delaying, and he's delaying, and he's causing delays in every step of the way that he can. So keep an eye out on the courts. Look forward to the hearings, and I will come back with any new news and development that I come across. Take care. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.